You do not have a system in Facebook ads to be doing your creative testing. I'm going to show you the most effective system that I've found so far. It contains 3 tiers of tests that you're going to run in a singular campaign over time. And so let me just explain what I have here, and I'm going to run through real examples on each tier. And so you can understand how to not only test your ads, get meaningful insights back that are going to get you a better result, a better ROAS, a better cost per lead, whatever, but they're also going to give you the ability to scale your ad account long term because you need the insights to be able to understand what to iterate on in the future. And so these 3 tiers of test are going to allow you to have a proper A/B testing infrastructure in your ad account. So you're not overlapping so many tests on top of each other. So you can actually confidently say, this element works best, this element works best, and this element works best. How do we combine all of them now that we have the proper insights within our marketing funnel to go ahead and scale our ad account? So let me walk through what each tier is going to be and just overall what this is. So the first tier is essentially a test on your campaign type. And so this is for a lead generation a lead generation business model, but you can do the same thing for e-commerce as well, is test campaign types. I'm primarily going to stick with lead generation for this principle and this video. You have website leads and you have in-platform leads. So the first tier of test is going to be testing your campaign type. So for example, here's an example of this. This is a client who I got brought on with them, and essentially they were only running in-platform lead generation campaigns. So what this means is somebody sees your Facebook ad, they click on it, and you guys are all familiar. It's the native Facebook form. They don't go to your website. They fill out the Facebook form, and then they become a lead, right? So you'll immediately see when I came on, I said, hey, we need to run a website leads campaign. And that's what this one is right here. And so we came on, we ran this campaign and tested it against this one. And most people would say, oh my goodness, well, the in-platform one is doing significantly better because it has a way cheaper cost per lead, right? $28 compared to almost $80. Well, that's insane. It's a no-brainer to pause this one, right? That is completely wrong. What we actually found out is while we started running this guy side by side, the close rate, meaning the actual quality of the lead from this campaign right here, is almost 4 times higher than this one. So essentially, if it's 4 times higher than this one, the equivalent cost per lead would be over $100 here. But if we're under $100, then we're already beating this one because the close rate is significantly higher. And so the reason that tier 1, if you're running a lead generation business and you're running lead gen ads on Meta, would be to test the campaign types against each other, because we're going to start stacking these tests on top of each other. So now that we found out, and it could be this one, I've seen this one be the winner in the past before. It just depends on the close rate. And what I mean by that is if you get 10 leads in this campaign and then 10 leads in this campaign, but this campaign only gets 1 sale and this one gets 5, well, you have a 50% close rate here. You have a 10% close rate here. So your cost per lead is going to look significantly different, meaning a high cost per lead in here is affordable and it's allowable versus in here because the actual close rate is significantly higher, which is going to lead to a sale, which is going to give us ROAS back to the campaign. And so once you actually understand which campaign has the better close rate and then which one, let's say they both had the same close rate, well, then you just go based off cost per lead. So which campaign is most beneficial from a cost per sale standpoint? That's what you're trying to figure out here. After you figure that out, we go down to tier 2. So tier 2, let's just say the website leads campaign 1, right? You're going to have 1 campaign and you're going to run another series of tests in there. You're going to have 1 campaign and you're going to purely just test the ad angles. And what I mean by this is, let's say I have an actual example, but you're going to test different angles. So now that you have the winning campaign type, which is really this, so tier 1 can just say campaign type here. Tier 2 is going to be ad testing. I'm not going to spell all this out. Ad testing right here. And so with tier 2, we want to just play on different angles of our creative or of our product. So let's say you have a product or a service and you know people need it, but the motivation and the reason people are going to actually reach out to you can be completely different. And you can manufacture that demand based on how you package your creative, your offer, and just the overall message around what it is you're solving for. So for example, here's some ads. And this is a client. And you can see same product. They're essentially selling driveway bollards for reducing theft, auto theft, etc., and just driveway security. And so we have essentially the same ad, but the messaging is very different. This one on the left is very fear-based. It's getting somebody to say, I didn't know I needed this until now. One car is stolen every 90 seconds in the UK. Is yours next? Like, this is going to make me think and potentially convert. Versus this ad is purely just credibility. Like, it's straight to the point. What do? We sell UK bollards. We sell UK driveway bollards. And here's why we're credible. Look at our Trustpilot reviews. And then it gives a little bit more understanding around what it is that these actually do. And so that is the second thing you want to do. And you don't just do this with one. I mean, you can branch this off and have another angle and another angle. The more angles, sure that you're testing multiple angles, and that is going to be tier 2. Test different angles of messaging against each other, because once you find the winning angle, what is it that makes people tick? Is it the fear-based, or is it simply appearing to credibility in a clever way? Like we said with the other one, which was on the right side, like a car thief's worst nightmare. So which type of angle wins? Once you have that, you're going to be able to stack. You're going to be able to iterate creative on an ongoing basis and appeal to that winning angle long term. And that's how you really start to figure out how to be more efficient and get cheaper cost per leads in Facebook ads. Lastly, I actually just realized it says tier 2, but this is tier 3, this last one right here. So it's just tier 3 is this guy right here. And tier 3 is simply going to be a landing page test. So now that you have the winning campaign type, you've identified your winning angles in your ads and you're iterating on them and you're uploading lots of ad volume per week. The third and final thing is to test your landing pages against each other. So let's say you have traffic and all your ads so far have been sending people to a homepage. Well, you want to actually start to test more. You want to get a layer of specificity in your ad account and test against something more general. So let's say all your ads have been going to a homepage. Let's just use this as an example. So let's use one as an example. This is where all your ads have been going to. Well, what you want to do is you want to start optimizing and testing landing pages against each other. So let's say you've been going here. It's kind of a general page, but it has continuity with your creative or whatever it is that you're selling. Well, let's say you want to test a specific page that just gets straight to the point. It has the actual form fill right here. It has what it is they're getting. It's a little bit more engaging. You have all the USPs right here. That's how you fold in the third layer. And oftentimes, whenever you follow this exact process right here, you're able to maximize how efficient you can be in the right order. And that's very, very important. I'm not going to start with the landing page test until my foundation is fixed. Where should I actually focus my money on from a campaign type standpoint? Then after I have my campaign type test figured out, and I go to my ad test and I can start stacking volume, then I know all the arbitrage in the actual ad account is likely figured out for the most part. But there's still a remaining 5 to 10% of cost per lead efficiency I can squeeze. And usually that comes by way of your landing page test. And so the more specific you get with your landing page test, usually the better. I almost always see pages like this beat a general like homepage. So all that to say, make sure you guys are implementing some sort of testing infrastructure in your ad account. They should be layered like this. You never want to cross all of these at one single time, because it's going to make it very hard to understand what element or what variable is driving the impact. You should see impact at every stage, and you should see your cost per lead decrease, and then you can scale volume. And then once you hit a bottleneck, you move on to the next tier. So hope this helps. Let me know if you guys have any questions.